Okay, it seems like I never know when to quit buying seeds. I still got all these left. So, and I have so little room, but I think I'm going to put them right here. And I just got done raking that out. I spaded up the outside row, but the inside, because I've had all these leaves and bark chips on top of it. And in the past, I've used it to set potted plants on and things like that. So what I'm going to do today is just go ahead and put some of these seeds in here in simple rows, and I'm going to plant them very close to each other. And I don't know if they'll grow because it's shady like most all the time, which makes it a good place to set potted plants. But I like to plant these seeds. I don't know where else, so I guess we'll try. We'll see if things can grow in the shade. How's that? This will be a good experiment. Well, I sure don't know if there's going to be enough sun there or not. But, I could save them until next year, and I've heard that sometimes seeds will grow in the second year, but I don't want to do that because it depends on the variety of the plant, and some last longer than others. But the one thing you do want to do is when you buy seeds, look on the back where it says right there at the bottom what the growing season is, and you can see that says for 2025. And I remember one time I got some seeds on Amazon, and it didn't have that on the back, and most of those seeds just plain didn't grow. And it's really frustrating to plant a bunch of seeds, go to all that trouble, and then nothing happens. So that's partially why I want to go ahead and put these in the worst of possible locations instead of saving them for next year. But so far I've had really good germination with these seeds. And I made a video yesterday showing all of the seeds that have already germinated in the garden after only 4 days since I planted them, which I was thinking was really amazing after just 4 days. I think I don't need my gloves on for this. Yeah, there's a lot of organic material in the soil right here, which is why we should find a lot of worms. This is really good soil. Let's start here and go back. These seeds are really super small. Too much dirt on top of them, because the bigger the seed, the deeper you need to bury it. And so those seeds were not very big, and so I hope I didn't get too much dirt on them right here because a bunch fell in. You can see I'm planting these very close. And since I'm going to dig most of these up next year to plant in other places, and that will make them this year. These are Hollyhocks, and those were Sweet Williams. I really like Sweet Williams. There's a nice red flower to mix with other things in other flower beds. And these are Hollyhocks. They're kind of a tall flower, but maybe 3 or 4 feet, and they're biennials. Those are biennials also, and they keep reseeding themselves every year. Actually opened it on the bottom. How about that? Okay, I see the size of these seeds, so that means that you can bury them. I didn't even look, but maybe ½ inch, 1/4 inch. And then I'll just tamp it down. Put the package on a seed post. Oh, I did open the bottom. Look at all the worms in there. I was just out here this morning. I dug up the weeds and made a nice seed bed. These are Russell Lupines. I really like these too. And I've grown those from seed before. And they're a perennial that comes back every year, or biennial. They're a biennial, and they only biennials means they just produce seed every other year, and they're hardy throughout the year. I get all these these stakes for putting my seed packages on from some old louver doors we had in the house that fell apart over the years. And not being able to throw anything away, of course, I saved them. So I finally found a handy use for them. This is another package of lupines. One is enough. These are foxgloves. These are really tiny seeds. So I'm going to have to be careful not to bury them too deep. And I believe foxgloves are perennial. Are they perennials or biennials? It says they bloom every year, so it must be a perennial. But they like shade. Not very, just moderate shade, not very deep shade. But I know just where I'm going to put them in a flower bed out front. So this year or next year I'll dig them up. Or I might use both packages because doesn't seem like there's too many seeds in here. Oh, they're so small. I think I'll just put both packages in the same drill here. And look at how small those are. But you don't even want to, I'm not even going to vary those. It doesn't say. Put depth an 1/8 inch. So, a lot of times with flowers you can just leave them on the top and then water them, and just the watering them will make them deep enough. Let's go ahead and put this other package in here. We got 3. I'm just gonna water those and instead of tamping them down. Oh, maybe a little bit. Be very careful though, so I don't get them too deep. There. That should do it. These are called Canterbury Bells, and I've tried to start those before. I've never had any luck getting them to last. It says they bloom every year, so they must be perennials. But and it says 1/4 inch deep. So I'm going to try them again. I've never got them to survive after a couple years before. So let's see how this goes. Look how small those seeds are. Aren't those birds pretty? I think you have a lot more birds in your yard when you feed them, so you get to listen to them when you're out working in the yard. That's one of the biggest reasons why we like to feed the birds so much here, and we feed them year round. There's another one just for good measure. Wish I knew what kind of bird that was. Okay, here's some delphiniums. And I just started some of those last year. Sometimes I also think they're called larkspur or delphinium. I think it might be the same plant. Although there's lots of different hybrids. We got room for like 1 or 2 more. I think that's it. That's it for the ones I planted. I planned on planting it out here. I sorted them out last night and decided where to plant them. So that worked out pretty close. Wow. Okay, well that's it. And what you need to do now is every week I'm going to come out and show you how these are going. They're called garden tours or garden journals. And so every week come back and see how these seeds are going. And I try to make my garden tours every week. And plus I'll show you how all the seeds that we planted in the garden about 5 days ago are growing. And well, here, I'll show you a little bit right now. Look at these carrots. of these carrots coming along after only 5 days. If you want, you can watch that video of how we planted all these seeds. And look at all these cucumbers after only 5 days. That tomato plant there, I started to plant from Menards, so they didn't grow all that fast. But yeah, usually carrots are really hard. And so anyway, I hope you liked that video, and if you did, please subscribe to this channel and click like on this video. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll keep making the garden journals so you can keep track how all this stuff is going and if the way I do it is a good idea or not. So thanks a lot for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.